In this video, I will show you how to play online Pro Evolution Soccer 21, even though Konami shut down the servers. We will focus on Pro Evo 21, but you can actually use the same method to play older versions of the game if you want to. In fact, by using the method that I am about to show you, you can probably play any computer game with other people online, even for titles without online multiplayer functionality available. So we are basically turning couch co-op into online multiplayer option, which is pretty cool, huh? So how is that possible? Well, what we will do is creating a direct connection between two players. One of you will be a host and the other player will be a client. The beauty here is that the client does not even have to have a powerful enough computer to run that game, since they are actually not running the game on their machine at all. In fact, they don't even need to have the game installed. So the way this works is basically like a team viewer. Host shares their screen and allows limited access to their computer for the client. There are few applications available for that purpose. Most known one is Parsec, but I personally don't really like it. I prefer using Sunshine and Moonlight combo of applications as they offer really smooth connection after the initial setup is done. Based on my experience, Sunshine and Moonlight have way better online connectivity than Parsec, and the input lag is lower with them. So that sounds all good and dandy, but how the hell will you find players? There is no online matchmaking here, right? Well friend, I got you covered. On my Discord server, we just created a section for PES21 online matches so that people can find players for friendly games. On top of that, I am about to organize online league for FUMA players on a heavily modded Pro Evolution Soccer 21 version, which is called Fanurex Overhaul. So if you are interested in finding matches online for this game, then make sure to join my Discord server, which is linked in the video's description. I want to create a fun and friendly community of people with a passion for football. So if that sounds like something up your alley, then come on over, we got cookies. But of course there are some limitations to this solution that I am about to show you. The most obvious one is the lag between players, which depends on the internet connection quality, mainly that of the host. And besides that, of course the distance between players will also play a big role. If you are located on the opposite sides of the world, higher delay is basically inevitable. That's how the internet works, right? There could be also security risks for the host since, well, you are allowing access to your computer. But no worries, I will show you in this guide how to limit access on host's computer to prevent any security problems using this solution. So, with all that out of the way, let me show you how to play Pro Evo 21 online with other people. To get this solution to work, you will need to download two absolutely necessary applications. Those are Sunshine, which will be the application we use for hosting, and Moonlight, which is an application used by the client to connect to the host. Please keep in mind that many internet providers don't give you external IP address, which basically prevents you from hosting a connection with other players. To overcome such problem, we will have to install also a third application called NordVPN. You can use other VPN softwares that allow creating a network between two users to overcome that CGNAT connection issue, but NordVPN solution is free and quite convenient, so I recommend you use that one. Okay, so now I will first show you how to set up the host side, then the client side, and lastly, I will show you how to connect to each other, right? So, you're ready to host a match in the modded Pro Evolution Soccer 21. Let's walk through the process step by step, and don't worry, I'll keep it straightforward and easy to follow. First off, you'll need to set up Sunshine. Start by installing Sunshine from the link I have included in the video description. Once it's installed, run the program. When you do so, it will open in your browser. If your browser warns you about the connection not being private, just ignore that message and proceed. The first time you launch Sunshine, it will ask you to create a login and password. Next, we will add your game to Sunshine's list of applications. This step is key because it lets the other player who will connect using the Moonlight client launch the game from your computer. Here is how. First, click Add New in Sunshine. Name the application whatever you want, it's up to you. Now we need to tell Sunshine where to find the game's exe file. So what I recommend is that you locate the shortcut for your game, PES21, Football Live or whatever you are using. Then right-click on that shortcut and select Properties. In the shortcut window, copy the entire line in the target field. Paste this target line into the detached commands field in Sunshine. Plus, make sure to check that box for running as administrator. This is super important for modded versions of PES21. Without admin rights, some mods might glitch or not work at all. You can also uncheck this box, which is continue streaming until all app processes exit, if you want to. Finally, save your settings. Now a little tip. I recommend deleting the desktop app from Sunshine. This should stop clients from having access to your desktop outside of the Pro Evo game that you are sharing. Better safe than sorry, right? Next, head to the input settings. Enable Gamepad input, so the second player can use their controller to play Pro Evo on your PC. I usually set the emulated gamepad type to Xbox since PS4 controller emulation can be a bit unreliable. And also disable mouse input. This, along with removing the desktop app, ensures that no one can control your PC. Don't forget to save your settings at the bottom before leaving this section. After that, let's go to the Audio Video tab. If the host's audio isn't working while you are playing the game with someone else, specify your audio device in the audio sync field. For example, I've set mine to my headset. Under Advanced Display Device Options, adjust the resolution and refresh rate to match the settings I've shown on my screen. This will keep your display from being messed up by the client's settings. Hit save and you're good to go. These are the only settings that you will need to tweak in Sunshine. Now here's a super important reminder. Sunshine has a troubleshooting tab. After every session, go there and delete your pairing with other player. This is crucial for security, so don't skip it. This is because you are essentially giving someone else access to your computer, but with the settings that I've shown you and by disabling the pairing after every session, you will prevent them from basically controlling your mouse or accessing your computer when you don't want them to. So follow these steps and you will have a secure and smooth hosting experience. Alright, now it's time to set up the client side, which involves using Moonlight. This is how the second player connects to the host's game. Let's break it down step by step. Start by downloading and installing Moonlight application on your computer as a client. As always, the link is in the video's description. Once you've installed the application, launch it and head to the settings menu. Here is what you will have to tweak. First, adjust the resolution. By default, I think it's usually set to Full HD, which is 1080p. I recommend matching it to your screen's resolution for the best experience. Next, select the refresh rate. I personally keep mine at 144 Hz for smooth gameplay. Finally, look at the bitrate settings. This controls the image quality. The default 60 Mbps works well for most situations. If you want sharper visuals, you can increase it, but be cautious. Higher bitrates can cause connection issues if your or host's internet isn't up to par or if you are way too far from each other. On the flip side, lowering the bitrate might help things to run more smoothly. You might need to experiment a bit with these settings to find the sweet spot that works for your setup. Alright, so now we got host ready and client setup as well. Now let's talk about one of the most common issues that you might face when trying to host matches: connection errors when trying to pair Sunshine and Moonlight together. If you are getting error while trying to connect, it's likely because the host is behind something called CGNAT. See, many internet service providers use a network setup that doesn't give their users an external IP address, meaning others cannot directly connect to you. This is not a problem with the game or the apps that we are using here, It's just how some internet service providers handle their connections. The good news? We can actually work around this by creating a virtual network connection between the host and the client. There are a few tools you can use for this purpose, like Radmin, Zero Tier 1 or paid VPN services. But here we are going with NordVPN because it's simple, effective, and even the free plan allows this functionality. So here's what to do. First, we install NordVPN on both the host's and the client's computers. Then we launch the app and enable feature called MeshNet. Now, one of you, it doesn't really matter who, needs to go to the MeshNet window and click on Link Devices. Here, select Link External Device. A pop-up window will appear. At this point, ask the other player for the email address they used to log in to NordVPN. Enter their email and adjust the linking settings. The main thing here is that you have to enable this one option, which is Allow Remote Access. Then click Send Invitation. Next, the other player will get an invitation in their NordVPN app under MeshNet Link Devices. And once they accept the invite, you will both see each other listed as external devices in your MeshNet network. And just like that, you have created a virtual connection. One final but important step: once you're done playing, go back to MeshNet and unlink the other user from your network. This is a simple security measure to ensure no one stays connected to your system after the match is over. Alright, so we took all those little steps. Now we are finally at the last one, which is connecting to each other and actually starting the match. Now, I know this whole setup process might seem a bit overwhelming at first, but trust me, it gets much easier with practice. When my buddy and I tried this for the first time, it took us over 30 minutes to figure everything out. We didn't have a guide like this, so we had to stumble our way through. But after the initial setup, the next time we connected, it barely took a couple of minutes to get everything running smoothly. So let's go step by step from both the host's and the client's perspective to make sure you get it right. First things first, the host needs to launch Sunshine and log in, while the client fires up the Moonlight. The client should now copy the host's IP address from NordVPN. You will find it under the External Devices section in MeshNet. Just click on it and it will get copied. Next, in Moonlight, the client clicks the Add PC Manually icon and pastes the IP address that they just copied. After this, a new icon will appear in Moonlight with the host's computer name. The client clicks on that icon to initiate a connection. Moonlight will then generate a PIN code, which the player, who is the client, needs to send to the host via Discord, chat, or whatever the hell you two are communicating through. The client also needs to share their device name. You'll see this in Moonlight. Don't use some default device name that you have for your PC in your Windows. Use the one provided in Moonlight app. For example, my device shows up as Machete here, and so I will share it with my host. Now it's the host's turn. Open Sunshine and go to the PIN window. Enter the PIN and the client's device name, then click Send. Once that's done, the client can click on the host's computer name in Moonlight again. This will display a list of available applications on the host's computer that the client can launch. So the client in Moonlight just needs to select the Pro Evo app that was added by the host earlier. And voila! This will initiate the connection between the host and the client, and the game should launch on the host's computer. Now here's a small hiccup that you might run into. Sometimes the second gamepad won't show up right away, especially if the host hasn't played online using this method before. If that happens, here is the fix. The host needs to navigate to the main game folder where they installed Pro Evo 21 and open the settings.exe file. Here, go to the controller section and select Direct Input. In the controller list, look for Controller 2 and select the controller that matches the client's gamepad. For example, my PS5 controller shows up as wireless controller on the host settings, while the other one, which is the Xbox controller, is assigned as controller number 1 for him. Save these settings, relaunch the game, and when you go to the select sites window, both controllers should now appear and you can select which team you want to play as. And that's it, game on. Enjoy the match and don't forget to trash talk your opponent just a little bit, in good fun of course. If you still run into any issues, let me know in the comment section. Like I mentioned earlier, if you want to find other people to play Pro Evolution Soccer 21, then make sure to join my Discord server. As more people join over time, I am sure we will get something nice going. If you enjoyed this video, then I would highly appreciate it if you drop a like. It costs you nothing, yet it helps me greatly to expand on this platform. And if you want to see more content from me in the future, then make sure to subscribe to my channel. I hope this video was helpful for you and the instructions were clear. Anyway, that's all from me in this video. Thanks for your time and I'll see you in the next one.